Hey everybody, this is Dave Nasty over here at Next Level Guitar, playing rhythmically some things I guess you probably wouldn't expect with a guitar that looks like this. Let's just call that elephant out in the room, because that's pretty true. What I'm going to do is just some pentatonic type stuff today. We'll talk about rhythm and what have you, but really we're going to talk about how to practice in pentatonic. I think that's pretty important to overall discuss and or address, because we've got cool videos all over the site that teach you licks in these various things of the pentatonic scale. We're going to work in E minor pentatonic, and we're going to talk about how to practice in every form of it. Pent means 5. We have 5 positions to cover. It's that time where you click on the link that you see below in the YouTube text box. If you click on that link, it's going to direct you to our site where you can get a free lesson that is not available on YouTube, a free coinciding ebook as well that's got all kinds of great scales and chord diagrams in it. Again, both of those items are free, and all you got to do is just click on that link that you see below in the YouTube text box. So we'll do a couple of them and keep it all nice and light. We're going to cover this position to start with on the 7th fret. So the reason why we're going to start with this is because the first thing is really when you do pentatonic licks, I'm talking about E minor. First thing I did was gravitate to that position, position number 1. Most guitar players, 90% of guitar players will do that because it's your association, it's what you've been taught, it's just how it is. You go right to that position and it's awesome. Great things that exist there. Equal throughout the fretboard. It's so important to be equal throughout the fretboard with all these things. That's why we're going to work in this position first. This is what you do. The first thing you want to do is you want to find your E's in every single position. So within this new scale, it goes like this. I've got my E there, and I have my E there. These are going to be, to start out with, my resolving positions. Now that lick is the same as this lick. So I want to recognize any idea that I have in this position equally throughout the guitar. That's the goal. So we're going to start by saying that a lick is oftenly played as this in the first position, can now be recognized in this position starting with your middle finger and achieved right there. We've got a bit of a different tone. It's going to make me think differently. I'm going to approach it differently if I play it in a new position. On the smoothness of it and the way that it feels and the control that comes from that simple little lick. Now if I go, I'm going to bend up here on my 10th fret. That would be the equivalent to this. So I'm trying to start off with ones that are really often played, like some of the first licks that you'll go for within this pentatonic scale. So we have the ability to do... so now we're coming out of it and we're going to say, all right, well I got my E there. How can I resolve down to this E, right? I can go... That's kind of nice. This incorporates a new form of pentatonic. We're able to use a little bit of that one. This one goes. Hear me finish on that E there. So now I'm getting outside. I'm starting to think to myself, I can work in this position. What is its equivalent? Its equivalent is this. Starting up on 10 here. 10, 12, 10, 12, sliding. So now I have... And I've got these same licks in new positions on the guitar, and tonally they sound completely different. And I like that. I like having that option. Maybe I'm going to mix some other usage of the diatonic scales, or your 3-note per string scales, with this eventually, and that's going to give me some other notes, and I start to see it differently, and I mold them together. I mold together my 3-note per string licks with my pentatonic approaches with wide intervals and big bends and sharp resolving notes, and that together gets me to do some different things that are not rooted in tradition all the time. Again, starting with what I learned here, moving it into other places. So now what we're going to do, we're going to expand on it. We have this. That would be just like going. So I've got new ideas, different things, working them in new places. Okay, let's talk about those diatonic scales for a second. So we're going to say that for this lesson, the best thing to do is we're going to do a form of pentatonic. We're going to find the E's within that pentatonic. We're going to recognize how the licks that I play in this first position pentatonic can be identified in newer positions. How do you do that? You find the notes. If you're not really strong at finding notes, can't think of a better way to learn, right? We're moving to a new place. We have to apply, we have to push ourselves to do these things. Otherwise, we get stagnant and stale and we'll stay in the same old groove. And we don't want that here at Next Level Guitar. Always going to where? The next level. So we're moving it. We're using our heads. We're making ourselves think. So I find these notes. I go to these other places. What are some of those diatonic scales you hear me yammering about? Look at this shape here. Classified as your A Dorian shape, the notes of your G major scale, right? We're thinking of this in the context of E minor. If I start from my E note, which is here, you're talking about it, and I play the duration of that scale, I can classify that as my A natural minor, or my E natural minor scale. Still totally works. So within the confines of our approach and things that we've done earlier, I've got some new notes. I've got some new options, right? We went 7th fret, 8th fret, 10th fret within that scale shape. Our pentatonic scale, however, did something different, but used some of those same notes. When I look at it in a 2-note per string idea, I think differently than when I look at it like this. When I think of this, I might play some ridiculous lick or something that's not needed, maybe because it's 3 notes per string. But I can say if I'm playing stylistically correct with my blues playing, I can use those notes to get me some extra style and or tone to my idea. And I'm just maybe doing hammer-ons up. Here's a way to practice it. Maybe take this portion of it. Follow it with a blues idea. Increase your visualization. That's the whole point of this lesson, is to say that I don't want to play in the same position. How do we do it? So how to practice it is the biggest thing. We all know that you know pentatonic licks. There's great ones on this website. Seen all the instructors teach many of crucial ones to know. So what I would say to do is start by maybe looking at one of their videos, and if their video example or this video example is an E, for, go, okay, well, within my E, I like to play this lick. Maybe you do a different one. Or any of these other many blues-oriented type of licks that you like to do. And you say, okay, well, cool. I'm going to take those notes. I recognize what they are. I'm going to find them in these other forms of the pentatonic scale and see what ideas come to my head. That's all we want to do, is just get new ideas and new thoughts. So I think it's a good part of this lesson to do, is we're just going to take it, move it into other places, and be casual about it. Apply rhythm to it, maybe. And just try to make it so it's musical. Experience playing, not always practice. Go to the website. I'm going to cap it off with that. Hopefully it's all information and things that you find crucial and needed in your everyday. I love it. I live by this approach. Maybe you can find it useful to you as well. So nextlevelguitar.com. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. It's harder to memorize. So if we go... Whoo, without my pick. Do you see that? Where's my mic stand to grab my pick?